Hey, welcome to another episode of Guitar Love. This is a video series where I pull out an instrument that I've made over the last few years, check out how it's holding up, dust it off, see how it looks, plays, and sounds. And this time around, it's the Royal B electric guitar. Wow. Very cool indeed. This is one of the few guitars that I made that I actually didn't document. It was really so much of an experiment that I just wanted to take my time with it and see if I could pull off what I was trying to pull off. I made this guitar actually a year ago, and I made it from the wood of a dresser that we were getting rid of, and it was going to go to landfill or get busted up, and there were some really good pieces of wood, solid wood. I don't recall the actual species of wood that it was made of, but it was solid. It was one piece, and I figured, you know what, I'm gonna try to make a really see how it's really thin, a really thin travel style guitar out of that piece of wood, and this is the result. Very cool indeed. It's got some great things about it. Just a standard top loader Strat style bridge, EMG 81 active pickup. It's got just a single volume knob, input jack, custom handmade, hand cut pick guard. The neck is from a local guitar seller, and he had a bunch of old necks laying around, and I kind of was taking a look at his stock, because I always like to put together projects and kind of put together guitars, and he had this I do believe it's a Behringer guitar neck. I'm not really sure, but it was in really good shape. I did all the fret work, I level crowned and polished all the frets, made sure everything was perfect, and it actually fit in there really great. I mean, it was perfect for this project. The paint I used, of course, royal blue paint. I didn't use any clear coat because it was going to be just a total experiment. So, but wow, it's held up the last year, and look how thin it is. I mean, if you were to look at just how fat, it's almost a little bit bigger than the finger, the thumb. And let me show you just briefly how it sounds. Definite access to the highest frets. The neck feels absolutely amazing. Like I said, you can't go wrong with the EMG 81 in the bridge. And I'll show you up close views of all the the guitar in every angle, but I figured it'd be really cool to do a song from one of my favorite female vocalists, Miss Belinda Carlisle. If you're familiar with her, she's the lead singer of the Go-Go's, and she had a solo career back in the day, and she had a lot of great songs like Heaven on Earth, but I wanted to cover her songs I Get Weak, and I thought that'd be a really cool song for this guitar. And like I said, after I show you how great this guitar plays and sounds, I'll show you some of the neat paint and everything else. But what do you think of this? like a wind holding me under. How I'll ever get out of this, I don't know. All is good, no way to fight it. Whoa, 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 I can't wait to wake and sleep when I look in your eyes. Alright, very cool. Love that song. Just wanted to give you a brief demonstration of how great this guitar plays and sounds. Wow. Yeah, Belinda Carlisle, I had a huge crush. And I still do. She's still a very beautiful woman. Huge crush on her growing up, but yeah, wow. She's got a lot of great songs. Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, look how thin the body is. I mean, I was trying to experiment to see how thin I could actually get the wood on the neck to where it would be completely stable. And because the wood is so solid, that it worked out perfectly. And it was really kind of neat. I mean, I wish I would have documented it, but it's pretty simple, really. Just you route out for where the neck pocket would go. You route out for the pickup and all the electronics. It was just kind of a small little space. I mean, once you get everything locked in, if you've watched me make guitars in the past, you know that all my processes as far as getting all the measurements just right and and it worked out actually perfect with the pitch of the neck, because you could see the break angle. It's kind of like a Stratocaster. Oh, let me show you the back real quick. Yeah. And I elected not to go with the 2K clear coat because I just wanted to see how it would work out, but I kind of wish I did. And I found this really killer, really thin 9-volt battery compartment. It's like really tiny, the space of it, so it was actually fit perfectly with around the back and everything. So yeah, worked out great. And I wish I knew the species of wood, but it's really dense. It was heavy. I mean, this is not heavy, but the dresser itself that I've got still some of the wood in the garage, but that was very heavy. So the wood was very dense. I mean, I remember even getting out the tools to bore this out. I mean, you could tell that the wood was solid, but that's why I experimented with how thin. And I still want to experiment with some other shapes, like do an Explorer shape. This was a complete random shape. It was kind of like a Stratocaster meets, like an ESP Eclipse kind of shape, with the horns. But it was, like I said, it was a complete experiment. And the pickup, the pickguard, just kind of, traced out a shape on a piece of paper that would work. And this one turned out to be really killer, so. Yeah. And like I said earlier, you can't go wrong with the EMG 81. I mean, that pickup is just cool. And I really like the shape of the headstock. Like I said, I think it's a Behringer guitar neck. If anybody knows, maybe leave a comment. But it's got the really cool truss rod plug. That's really kind of a neat thing. that I never really seen before. Oh, let me show you the back of the headstock. I did the really cool, the paint with the volute. Very cool. And the neck feels really good. It's kind of like a satin paint, so it doesn't really grip your hand. But yeah, this could be an everyday player. I mean, I've got so many guitars that I play on the daily that this is just another one, but it's beautiful too. It's very pretty. But I did remember that the paint gave me a hard time. I remember I went through several different colors before I ended up on this paint. But for some reason during that time of year, when I go to paint it, start looking great, and then you start getting all these boobly spots, and this was where the battle with paint. I still have a battle with paint, but I think I'm getting better at the painting, because the paint is definitely that is a perfect skill that because paint's gonna do what it's gonna do, and there's a lot of things that are involved in paint, like humidity, if you're laying it on too thick, if your distance of where you're spraying it from. There's just so many factors. But this one finally turned out good, and I think I went through painting, then stripping the paint that I just put on it, and then painting it again, and then having it something in the finish that was off with her. I got some lint or hair or something in the finish, and then I stripped it down again, and then finally I really got all my fingerprints everywhere, but I really finally nailed it on the third time. And I think all that sanding of the paint, it made the finish very flat. So if I were to elect to go with some 2K clear coat over it, it's really cool. And with the neck pocket, I went without the sleeve, because normally I would use the neck plate that has the plastic sleeve, but I went without, and I had to actually shorten the screws. I remember that, cutting the screws like a third shorter just because of the neck. And I do believe that I sanded the neck flatter too to make it shallower, like the heel here, sanded it from the back. But yeah, I wish I would have documented it, but I didn't. But I really enjoyed doing it. I love making guitars like that. So thanks again for watching this video. If you watched it all the way to the end, you're awesome. Please leave a thumbs up on my YouTube and leave a comment. Tell me what you think. What other shapes you'd want to see me do something like this. And it was really cool with I tried to do some of the contouring, like with the hand, the comfort cut, because the wood was so dense, and I think that turned out really cool. In the process of doing that, you've seen that I have the orbital sander. Anyway, go into that. And I thought that it wasn't necessary to do any kind of comfort cuts. And as far as the belly cut, I mean, I thought that would have been a little overkill, having like the belly. But yeah, very cool guitar. And see how small it is? So it's a perfect travel guitar. And like I said, it's very solid, very dense. Sounds good, looks good, plays good. That's all that matters. So thanks again for watching this episode, and we'll see you on the next one.